Hey man, how's everybody doing today? Coach Sean Shallis with the Success Addicts Collective. I'm excited to actually have you guys all here today. It is the very end of the year, and it's a good time where we usually share this four-step business plan with people on how to basically build a business really simple, really easily. And I'm going to get you a link here too, um, where you can actually book a call with us. And if you wanted to find out more, we can actually help you with that. Um, so again, my name is Coach Sean Shallis. I'm top producing loan officer at the fifth largest bank in the United States. I'm actually a founder of the Success Collective, where it's the wealthy addiction. We actually show you guys how to actually build a business and actually get communicate with your business partners so that you get on the same page and build a business. Not just build a business, but the plan I'm going to share with you. We've actually over the years coached thousands of people, both realtors, consumers, insurance people, real estate people, mortgage people, people in the landscaping business, people in the aluminum siding business, anybody who was associated in the real estate profession. I actually helped coach them. And this was always the plan that I gave them. And that plan actually originated from years ago. I worked with probably no less than 25 of the world-class real estate experts and mortgage experts and training and coaching experts like Mike Ferry, Tom Ferry, Brian Buffini, Jay Abrahams, Tony Robbins, we coach with personally. Bob Proctor from The Secret, I coach with personally. John Asseroff, I coach with personally. Esther Hicks, we've actually coached with, mentored with. John Alexandrov, Gary Keller, and the whole cast of characters in the MAPS coaching with Diana Kokoska and her husband, Tony DeCello. I'm very blessed to say that they were some of my first and early coaches, Monica Reynolds. So big shout out and a big blessings to all those people that actually helped build my career. What's interesting, I spent over $1 million to learn this one really simple plan. And what's interesting is you'll learn that with highly successful people that are what I would call, we have different levels of success in our organization and in the Success Collective. We call people either you're on your journey to being successful, then you're actually, what I would call you're addicted to success, where it's just like you wake up and you're passionate about it. And then you're kind of somebody like me where you're just a plain out success junkie. And, it's not a bad thing. It's we call it the wealthy habit or the wealthy addiction. So it's not a bad thing. By the way, just wanted to share again, my name is Sean Shallis. I am the founder and coach of Success Addicts Collective. You can join us on Facebook or you can join us on YouTube. We're going to be pushing this out for people in both of those markets. By the way, if you have questions or comments, just put it in the comments and we'll get back to you. I promise you. At the end of this, if you stay to the end, I promise you, I'm going to give you a really cool gift at the end. I'm going to actually give you an opportunity for a free coaching call. I'm also going to give you the opportunity to get access to Realty Coach, which is one of our apps that gives you hundreds of hours of coaching and training material for free. In there is actually a Christmas gift for your holiday gift, depending on your holiday. And that holiday gift is 53 ways to go get a listing today. That's right. I'm going to give you my list of 53 ways to go get a listing. And that list was actually in my desk drawer in paper because like the Coca-Cola recipe, I didn't want to put it somewhere where somebody could steal it. So there's a list of 53 ways to get a deal. And anytime somebody would come to me and they were stressed out or at the end of the year, they said, hey, listen, I got to pay my rent or I got to pay my bills. I need a deal now. I would take out that list and go, here, which one of these haven't you done yet? And that list has generated more deals than you can imagine. So it's kind of like the secret sauce, or it's the emergency backup when you don't have a transaction coming in and somebody puts a gun to your head and says, hey, if you don't get a deal, we're going to just pull the trigger in the next 30 days. That is the way to do it. So stay to the end. So let's have a little conversation about this. What is the biggest challenge that most people experience, or what we see in most agents in real estate right now, and in mortgages and anything else? It's quite honestly, it's inconsistency. Their business will do this and it'll go up and down in cycles. And typically that cycle is a three-stop cycle. Goes up once, comes down, goes back up once, comes down, and goes back up once, it comes down. So there's three peaks in it. Why? Is because the first quarter they get all excited, they get all jammed up, they got to go to the gym, they're coming out of New Year's and they're excited, alive, they're full of energy, and they're going to prospect and they're going to get business. Now they got that business and they're on the way up, they're actually generating that business, and now all of a sudden they have to maintain it. So between let's say February and March and April, now all of a sudden they're on their way back down, and now they go, oh my God, We got that deal closed. Now all of a sudden I have to go get some more business. And the problem is they keep going through that roller coaster. And the reason why they're doing that is because they don't have a specific plan, what we like to call your 10x personal success formula. So what is the 10x personal success formula? So I'm gonna share a little story about where this came from. Um, this is God, it's got to be 2008 and 9. I'm coaching with some people. They said, "Hey, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this." I started modeling some of the most powerful people in the industry, guys like Chris Heller, who ran. He's a very good personal friend of mine. He was my role play partner. Chris actually took Keller Williams from 60,000 agents to 120,000 agents as the CEO. He now runs Ojo Labs, is a great company for a referral source. If you're looking for a referral company to generate some extra leads, go see Chris at Ojo Labs. Tell him I sent you. What's interesting is though is what I figured out is after modeling tens and hundreds of successful people is they all had one thing in common. That one thing was a morning routine, a bulletproof morning routine. That bulletproof morning routine, if you stay to the end, I'm going to actually give you access to our training for the 10x personal success formula, where you can actually build your personal customized 10x personal success formula by the beginning of the year and be able to implement it January 1. It doesn't take much as long as you follow the coaching and the training that's in there. It's free. It's a 7-day trial. You can do it, and you can do it in 7 days. It's designed to get you out alive, excited, full of energy, and get you to hit the ground running with literally with a plan. And for 30 days, you'll have the exact plan. You won't have to guess what you're going to do. So what's in the plan, Sean? What are the things that I have to do, or how am I going to actually double my business or triple my business over the next 90 to 120, 200, 250, 365 days? So my intention is, some of you remember yesterday I was speaking about this. When I first left the real estate industry, I worked on the sales side for 25 years. I did over $1 billion in transactions, did 2,000 transactions over 25 years. Me and a team of no more than 5. We never bought a transaction, and we never bought a referral. I'm going to say that again. We never bought a referral. We never bought a transaction. I had never had a team more than 5. And what's funny is 3 out of the 5 were typically operations people. There was only me and one other salesperson. So, if you do the math, it's about 75 deals a year on average. Some years we did 150, and other years we did 50. But on average, we did 75 transactions a year. And how did we do that? And really what set the tone for that was our routine, our morning routine, if you will. So what does that routine look like? Again, you're going to get to the end. I'm going to send it to you. But here's the pieces of the puzzle that you need to know. If you looked at the advertisement to get you here and to get you to watch this, it was called Plan 2025. What's funny is we did a little play on words. Plan is actually an acronym. PLAN. And if you watched yesterday, or if you were watching us on Lending Life newsletter, you're going to see that we talked about ADA, which is another acronym, right? But here's the thing: is plan, PLAN. If you write it vertically, and here's what it is the first one is prospecting. So you need to actually be actively and aggressively getting in front of people and ask them if they want to buy, sell, or invest in a home. Or if you're a mortgage lender, you want to ask them if they are considering financing, refinancing, or investing in real estate, and ask them how you can help. And people say, "Oh, I don't want to be aggressive." That's not me. I don't like to call people. I didn't say you had to call somebody. You could go to the fence at the soccer game and work the fence and make sure you talk to 10 people. Or you can go on Facebook and Twitter or whatever your platform of choice is and direct message people until they communicate back to you. Or you could, stand on your front lawn and host people on your front lawn making a snowman. I don't care how you do it, but what the key is consistently every day, speaking with at least 10 to 20 people or whatever your goal decides you need, whatever that number is, and we can back into that number. And when you look at the 10x personal success formula, it'll actually show you how to back into your number to figure out how many people you actually have to call on a daily basis or have conversations with or talk tos, not contacts, not dials, but talk tos, have a conversation with that can either buy, sell, or invest in a home, or refinance, finance, or invest in a home with your service. And if you're the insurance guy, somebody who needs insurance or somebody who doesn't, okay, you need to talk to probably about 10 of them a day at least to get to a number that is to make a living, make a 6-figure income, typically, no matter what your industry is. So the second thing is called lead follow-up. And by the way, you're going to notice that plan, the acronym is set up in the order that you're going to do this. So first thing in the morning, you're going to get set up for success. You're going to block out 2 hours of your time and you're going to prospect, or you're going to actively communicate your message to somebody and ask them if you can help them. And whatever you're helping them with, I help realtors and people in the real estate space, mortgage people, communicate with their audiences, with their partners. And I help them. I believe that everybody has at least $1 billion blind spot. And if I can find it and I can help you to discover it and capitalize on it, I can actually take you from where you are now to whoever you want to become, and probably as little as 90 days. So that's my message. That's what I'm looking to do for you in this environment. What's your message? How do you help your customers? And what does the conversation sound like? And like at this time of year, it may be, hey, you know what? I was thinking about you. I was driving past your house. I happen to remember us doing the transaction here. And I'm just wondering how you're making it. I want to first of all say thank you. And then I was curious, me and my family are still in the real estate business. And I was wondering how I can help you. Do you know anybody that's thinking buying, selling, or investing in a home? Or do you know anybody that needs my help in financing their home? We're doing a refinance. Do you have a kid going to college and you need some extra cash? We can do a cash out refinance for you, right? That's part one. The second part is, and you probably heard this, the first contact is easy. The real business of the game becomes is how many times you follow up with somebody. When I first started in the industry 25 years ago, you had to follow up with somebody 5 to 7 times. Bear in mind, we were following up with like literally smoke signals. Um, you know, back then, if you wanted to get in touch with somebody, you had to send them a fax. You didn't have like a video that you could send them off your phone, or I tell people all the time, my cell phone was the size of a car battery that you were carrying around because that's what you needed in order to keep the charge in it. So when you're following up, you need to follow up with somebody probably 6 or 8 times, in most cases 10 to 12 times before you're going to be top of mind and you're going to be in their mind when it comes time to make a decision. Ideally, what I usually tell people is there's a cadence to following up. It's called you text them 3 times, call them 3 times, or email them 3 times, or message them 3 times. I also would layer in a handwritten note. Okay. Again, text them 3 times, call them 3 times, email them 3 times, message them 3 times. When you do the messaging and the calling, don't do them all at the same time. Because if you do it for 3 days in a row and you do it all at the same time and you get the same result, shocking. But if you call them 3 times, let's say today you call them in the morning, tomorrow you call them in the afternoon, the next day you call them in the evening. Ideally, if you really, or if there's somebody who's like an expired listing or somebody that you need to get in touch with today and they need to make a decision today, I would call them 3 times. I would call them once in the morning, once in the afternoon, once in the evening. In between, I would send them a text and say, hey, I didn't get you on the phone. I'm really sorry. Give me a call. I got a quick question for you. You could send them an email also that says, hey, I know I didn't get you on the phone. I tried texting you, but here's the information I was trying to share with you in long format. That way, depending on who you're talking to, if they like to read short format, great. If they if they like to read information in long format, if they're analytical or digital, then it's all there. If they're amiable and you said, hey, I just have a quick question for you, they're going to call you just out of courtesy. If they're a driver personality and you're saying, hey, I have this, and this, and I can deliver it to you today, or I can get you to a closing in 3 weeks where nobody else is doing that, or 2 weeks, or whatever it's going to be, or I can get your house sold in a month or a week or a day, they're going to get in touch with you. And you want to create, one of the keys to following up and getting a success rate in the follow-up, again, is your key to success is going to be creating urgency where there is none. People make decisions when they're excited. Remember, numbers bore the hell out of people. They stop them from making decisions, but excitement is what gets them to make a decision. So if you can get somebody excited about whatever, like today, like right now, what we're doing is, hey, the Fed is about to make a decision on the rate. Even though the rate may not change the mortgage rates, if the Fed, just because the Fed changes the Fed funds rate, doesn't mean that the mortgage rates immediately go down. In some cases, they even have gone up. Okay, but it's a talking point, and it's a point to which we can get somebody on the phone, get them motivated, and get them inspired to get in touch with you. So first, we talked about prospecting. We talked about finally taking somebody who you didn't know. And by the way, prospecting, active prospecting, is not following up with leads that you've already spoken to. That is follow-up. Active prospecting in the morning, I would suggest blocking at 2 hours from 8 o'clock till 10 o'clock, or 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock, and take a little break in between for 15 minutes, but don't go away and don't go shopping and then not come back. Take a little break, go to the water cooler, come back. okay, and get back on the phone and make another 10 contacts. But my suggestion is in the morning, call and talk to people you don't know or you want to know, or somebody suggested you should call, or they have a reason why you should call them, like their interest rate is higher than what you can give them, or their property just expired unsold, or they're for sale by owner, and you have a solution to actually help them. If you're not sure how to do for sale by owners, by the way, I'm a best-selling author. I wrote the book, How to 10x House Selling Secrets, How to Sell Your House. If you want to chime me and find out how to do that strategy and you're a real estate professional, get in touch with me. I'm more than happy to work with you on that. Here's the next thing. So we talked about active prospecting, not follow-up. Prospecting is new leads that we haven't talked to. Follow-up is people that we've spoken to already, and now we're going to follow up with them. By the way, that is not your past clients or your center of influence. It's following up with the hot lead that you spoke to on the day before, the month before, the week before. So now we're going to do follow-up. And typically follow-up is between 11 and 12, right? Or 11, 11:45. If you need more time to follow up, you're probably not qualifying your leads right. I'm going to say that again. If you need more than 30 to 45 minutes and you're running a typical real estate operation, unless you're doing thousands of transactions, you're probably, if you have more leads than time to be able to follow up with your hot leads during that period of time, that means that you're probably not pre-qualifying your leads well enough. Remember, somebody who was a real lead or a hot lead in my, when I was doing real estate, a hot lead was somebody who's going to buy, sell, or invest in a home in the next 10 days. That's right, 10 days, not 6 months, not a year, 10 days. But we were talking to 30, 20 or 30 people a day. So out of that 20 or 30 people, we would find 2 or 3 people that were going to make a decision in the next 90 days. And typically one of those people were going to make a decision in the next 30 days. So ideally, really super hot, it depends on how many people are in your pipeline. If you don't have a lot of people in your pipeline, I would say 90 days is realistic for a hot lead for a young mortgage loan officer or a realtor. What's a warm lead? Anybody who's going to do something between 90 days and nine months, a year. What's a cold lead? Anybody who's going to do something 12 months or more. And by the way, after 12 months, it's a cold lead. After 90 days, it's a cold lead. If you haven't talked to that person in 90 days and you're not actively following up with them week after week after week, or day after day after day for that matter, they're a cold lead. During follow-up, I would do for sale by owners, and just to give you an example of this, I had a routine that if I followed up with you as a for sale by owner, and if you told me, if I got you on the phone at 9 o'clock on Tuesday, you became my 9 o'clock Tuesday call. And I would call you. And after about the second or third week, you would pick up the phone and say, "Oh my God, hey, Sean, it's our 9 o'clock call. How are you this week? By the way, I spoke to my wife. Can you come and visit us and get our house on the market?" See, the difference between highly successful people is they do think they're creatures of habit and they're consistent. And what happens is that they get so consistent and so disciplined that they don't have to tell the people that they're going to do a certain thing. Those people the people they're communicating their message to start to notice it and go, "Oh my God, you call me every Tuesday like clockwork." I know, it's just part of my routine. Here's the funny thing is, if you had to sell your house, or if you had to buy a home in the next 30 days, do you want somebody that you can count on that's going to call you like clockwork? Or do you want somebody who's going to be just random? So here's an example of this. You know, I live in New Jersey, okay? And in New Jersey, there's a place called the Barnegat Lighthouse. And the Barnegat Lighthouse is where the ocean and the bay meet. It's one of the most treacherous intersections of water, if you will, on the Jersey coast. There, in that intersection of water and that inlet, if you will, when it gets foggy out, I mean, you can't see anything. Let's just say, for argument's sake, you no longer had GPS that we have now. You had to bank on the fact that the lighthouse was at a certain north by south azimuth on your compass, and you would point your boat at that compass and pray to God that that lighthouse hasn't changed. Because if it changed, you would run into the rocks on the shore or hit something. Well, are you the lighthouse? Are you calling consistently week after week, day after day at the same time, same bat channel? Or are you running up and down the beach with a light going, "Hey, I'm over here. I'm over here. It's Tuesday. I'm over here on Friday. Hey, I had some time to call you. It's like Thursday or 3 days later. I know I told you I'd call you on Wednesday, but it's really Friday." Be the lighthouse. Be consistent. People like consistency. What's the next piece of the puzzle? So we talked about prospecting, actively prospecting. We talked about lead follow-up. What is the purpose of the lead follow-up? What do we want to do? Do we want to do the presentation on the lead follow-up conversation? No. What we want to do is qualify the customer, read them a pre-qual script. If you need that script, get in communication with me, text me, chat me, send me a message, put in the chat down below, prequal, and I'll send you the script. Okay. Why do you want a prequal script? That's because the next piece of the puzzle, the A in plan, is appointments. We want to make appointments with people that want to talk to us about doing a loan consultation appointment, or somebody who wants to buy, sell, or invest in a home. We want to make a buyer appointment. We want to make a seller appointment, but we want to make sure before we go out to see that person that they're qualified. And when I say qualified, I'm in the mortgage space. Why people think of financially qualified? And we see how people, I go, yeah, part of my job is to get you financially qualified, but reality is what my job is as your coach and as your business consultant, if you will, and mortgage coach and real estate coach is to get you mentally, physically, emotionally qualified to buy a home. I'm going to say that again. You're going to get physically, mentally, physically, emotionally ready to buy a home. And what is that difference between the person who just, slings loans and throws out pre-approval letters and all that stuff? And God bless those people, they make a living at it. The reason why I say mentally and physically is getting married, getting divorced, having a child, and public speaking are the most stressful things on the planet. The next thing right behind it is buying or selling a home. So if you get somebody pre-approved, you want to make sure that before they walk down the aisle, they're ready to go and they're mentally there. Or that if you find them, and the question is, what I used to ask people is, if I find you what you're looking for in the next 30 days, are you ready to make the decision to buy the home? Great. Now on the mortgage side, I'll say, if your realtor finds you a home in the next 30 days, where are we going to get the money from to put down on the property? Do we have the additional assets so we're ready to hit the ground running and get you to a smooth and flawless closing in the next like 2 to 3 weeks? Because I'm going to put my name on you and the realtor is putting their name on you. And we're all part of the team. And we know if we do what we do and we do our part and you do your part, we know that you're going to get to a smooth and flawless closing without a problem. And we're going to make that stressful event less stressful, if you will. Right. So making the appointments. When do you make appointments? Typically, I would, again, prospect in the morning, 8 o'clock until about 11, 11 to 11:45, 12 o'clock, do your follow-up calls, 12 o'clock to about 12:45, go to lunch, get out of your desk, go for a walk, go do something, go talk to somebody. Don't talk to the negative people in the office, though. Talk to somebody who's inspiring, alive, excited, and full of energy. If you can't find them, put some headphones on and go for a walk and listen to something motivational on YouTube or go find something. There's plenty of that stuff out there nowadays. Now, what you're going to do is now we're going to do appointments. When do you book appointments? I used to set it up in my schedule where all my appointments were either 1 to 3, 3 to 5, or 6 to 8 on Tuesday and Thursday, and on Saturday from 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock. I'll say it again. Monday to Friday, 1 to 3, 4 to 5, 6 to 8 on Tuesday and Thursday, half day on Saturday. And usually, typically, I would work 3 Saturdays, take 1 off. By the way, if you notice, I didn't say open houses. I very infrequently did open houses. We have an entire strategy to show you how to turn one open house into a $46,000 commission on a $350,000 house. That's right. We have a complete strategy on how to do that. I did it for years. The funny thing is, I didn't do it until the end of my career. Now, what I actually help people do is I show them how to set themselves up for success and use that open house as the pinnacle of their marketing campaign to generate a tremendous amount of activity and get people in the door and literally create an entire quarter's worth of business out of one property. We're going to show you that too. That's just something else. If you stay to the end, I can actually give you access to that. I'll show you where you can find that. But again, your appointments. The other thing is with your appointments, make your appointments so that it's only a 45-minute appointment block and you're only taking 30 minutes on the appointment. 20 minutes to do your presentation and 10 minutes to answer questions. Why? Nobody likes to have a salesperson in their house, not even me. And I'm a salesperson for 25, all my life, right? I was selling water off the front lawn at 7 years old, as my mother puts it, for a quarter to the contractors. I was literally selling them the water from the hose to fill up their jug for a quarter. But the reality is nobody likes to have a salesperson in their house. Not for very long, at least, only to get what they need. So get in, listen to what their problem is, show them you can fix it, and give them a solution for it. You could do that in 20 minutes. It's really simple. At the end of the 20 minutes, find out what their questions are. And what I used to do is I would come in with a list of the top 10 questions that I would get from all my customers, and I would give it to them. And I'd say, hey, here, take a look at these questions. Here's the answers to the questions you're probably going to ask me when I get done looking at the home. Do you mind if I go for a walk around your house? I would go walk around and they'd say, hey, let us show your house. And I'm like, let me walk through the house as though I was a buyer without you with my agent. I want to just see it through the eyes of the buyer. I don't want you to give me cues on what I should be looking for. And I just and what do you want us to do? I want you to just review this. I just want you to review these 10 questions that you're probably going to ask me because the answers are right here. And then when I come back, we're going to sit down. I'm going to show you exactly how I can help you to get to the highest price in the shortest period of time with the least amount of fees. And all we have to do is just give me a key and we'll get started. Okay. Okay, great. I'll be right back. Let me go look at the house. I would go look at the house. I would come back, sit down, do my presentation in 15 to 20 minutes. I had already sent them a pre-listing package. So if they already knew, again, pre-listing package, I sent it to them. How did I send it to them? I sent them by hard copy, by messenger to their house, and a digital copy. And then my assistant would be in one of my uniforms before we had rings. He would take a picture of himself, putting the packet under the doorstep, and he would text it to them. So they knew that. And I would say to him on the phone, I go, Mr. Jones, I can't wait to meet you at 4 o'clock. By the way, my assistant is going to bring over the package of information for you. They're going to have it at your house. You're also going to get a digital copy in the next few hours. If you have any questions between now and 4 o'clock when I come out to see you to list your home for sale, by the way, listen to what I said. When I come out to see you to list your home for sale, that's an embedded command. I'm telling them I'm coming out to list your home for sale. Why? After I say that, I'm going to pause. If they even hiccup and go, well, we're not ready to list our house. Okay, then we need to go back and requalify that person because we don't want to go see somebody. If you go to the surgeon and they put you under and you're not ready for the surgery, like if they didn't give you the anesthesia yet, you really don't want to be on the table. You do not want to go see a customer unless they're ready to have surgery. Unless they're ready to make a decision, why would you take the time from your family or whoever else you're spending time with? Find a highly qualified person that either wants to buy, sell, or invest in whatever you're selling. Don't go see the people that just want to waste your time and get the information and then pat you on the butt and say, hey, see you later. Thanks so much. Right? You could avoid that. Most people say, oh, it happens to me all the time. You could avoid that. If you're not sure how to do that, work with us. We'll show you how to do it. We did it for years. People say to you, how many times do you have to go see somebody to close them? 1.5 times. How do you do 1.5? We would do the first one over the phone and we do it on Zoom. And then we do the second one. We come out to see you. You were ready to list the house because before that 4 o'clock appointment, I would actually have touched you at least 7 to 10 times. When I hung up the phone and I actually, hey, as long as what I say makes sense and you're confident, comfortable, I can actually sell your home when I come out to see you, we're going to list a home, right? Right. If you said yes, great. That was the first question I asked you, by the way, on the pre-approval letter. When I got done with my pre-approval and my assistant was putting together the paperwork, she would call them up and ask them the questions again. Same questions. Why? Because they may give her a different answer than they would give me. The next thing that we would do is we would drop off all this stuff. My assistant would call and confirm, say, hey, did you get the package? Did you get the email? It didn't go to spam. Then what would happen is the day of the appointment, if it was at 4 o'clock, at 3 o'clock, my assistant would call. She would call first thing in the morning and say, hey, just want to confirm Sean's appointment today at 3 o'clock. Can't wait to see you. At 4 o'clock, he can't wait to see you. Okay, great. We'll see you then. Right. At 3 o'clock, about an hour before my appointment, my assistant would call that person and say, hey, Sean's on his way. He's leaving his other appointment. Just want to confirm that you're going to be there and he's ready to list your house for sale or he's excited to get it on the market. I just want to let you know, I've got the photographer ready for this week. I just want to make sure that's going to work for you when he comes out to list the house. Well, we didn't even figure out how much we're paying, all that stuff. That's okay. Sean's going to worry about all that. I just want to make sure I have my ducks in a row. So when you say hit the ground running, we can have your property on the market for this weekend. This weekend? Yeah, this weekend, this Sunday. Like today, like Sunday's usually a great day to get a house launch, but it's Thursday. Yeah, we're good. We have the photographer all set up. We can have it on the market for the weekend. Right? That's how crazy that our process was, or our standard operating procedure. So now what happens is you do your appointments. What is the N in prospecting? Right? Plan. Prospect. First, we're going to go find somebody to talk to. Lead follow-up. We're going to follow up with them and make sure that they have us top of mind and they want us to come. And now we're going to pre-qualify them for an appointment. And now we set the appointment. Once we set that appointment, and by the way, whether you're setting that appointment for a buyer, a seller, an investor, a loan off, to do a loan, to do a refinance, to do investing in real estate, leveraging existing properties, selling them aluminum siding for their house, getting them set up for success when you go out to see them is really getting yourself set up for success. Okay. And what is success? Success is the progressive realization of a worthwhile goal or worthy ideal. Again, I'll say it again. Earl Nightingale, granddaddy of Nightingale Coning Company. He was the granddaddy of one of the granddaddies of personal development. Earl's definition was the progressive realization of a worthwhile goal or worthy ideal. Okay. My definition for you is, for success is juggling eggs on one foot standing in a hammock. That's right. Success is not easy, but it is duplicatable, is repeatable, and there is a plan. So plan, P, prospect, L, lead follow-up, A, appointments, N, negotiate. Again, negotiate, close. You guys have seen Glenn Eyre, Glenn Ross, coffees for closers, right? Alec Baldwin, best acting he's ever done is the scene in that movie. They don't come for the sit unless they want to buy or sell, right? Bottom line is your 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 self-worth of being a salesperson is being able to close or being able to negotiate a deal. And what I usually explain to people is if you did prospect correctly and you led them to a decision when you were doing your lead follow-up, and they set an appointment with you and you set them up for success by reading them your pre-qual, and then you give them the pre-listing package or the pre-sale package or the documentation about your construction of permanent loan and the products and all the information on it. Now, the negotiation for you to have them sign the contract should be a natural progression. It should just happen naturally. You shouldn't even have to ask them to sign the contract. But if you do, hey, Mr. Jones, obviously realize we're able to get you into the house in the time you want. Won't that be great? You and your family are going to be in for the holidays. By the way, all we need to do now is simply sign the contract so I can help you get what you want the time you want. By the way, if you've ever heard of neuro-linguistic programming and people are like, oh, that's like CIA spook stuff. Try again. My phone is saying, hey, I didn't get that. So the CIA and guys like that use neuro-linguistic programming. It's what they call neuro-linguistic programming. It's basically using language to program your brain to make a decision and lead somebody to a decision, whether it's a positive decision or a negative decision. By the way, you don't realize it, but probably 80% of presidents that have been out there that are speakers that are really powerful public speakers, like Bill Clinton and those guys, they've been using neuro-linguistic programming for years and decades in their speeches. And when you see certain colors and certain colors, and there's certain hand and eye movements, there's certain hand gestures. When we do this and we go like this, and they're going like with me, or all we need to do now, me and you, right? Typically, you'll see this. This is a me and you. I'm saying to you, hey, I'm here for you, and now I need your help, right? Those are planned. There's no accidents in a sale. That is a very high level sales presentations that we teach at an advanced course. We have group coaching. We also have one-on-one coaching. We also have advanced, what I'm going to call consulting, business consulting. But sales Jedis, or success junkies, if you will, they're the guys doing the Jedi tricks, right? We're doing like the Force things where we're actually looking at your eyes and going, okay, they're not ready to close yet. We're looking at your body movements. It's called cold reading. If you look it up, a lot of attorneys will use it. People that do jury selection will use it. And they really are looking at your eye, the way your eye twitches, the way you access the way you access information in your brain by tilting your head one way or another. They're looking to see if your hands are open or if they're like this or closed. If you're sitting up in a chair, you're sitting back. So we talked about a lot. I didn't really tell you how to negotiate because I feel as though if you've gotten this far along, you need, if you need help negotiating, then you need to contact me directly. Or you could just grab the link that's in the chat and actually book a call with me, book a discovery call. So let me recap this again. Plan, prospect, actively and aggressively going to find somebody who needs to buy, sell, or invest in your product or service. Lead follow up with them. If you spent the time to go kick them out of the bushes, now you got to follow up with them. right? When you follow up with them, have dedicated time to follow up with them. When you follow up with them, contact them 3 times, 3 days in a row, 3 different times, 3 different ways, 3 different days in a row. After that, by the way, but Sean, am I gonna over contact them or anything? I've done probably thousands of transactions, hundreds. I can't even tell you how many conversations I've had. Got to be 25, 30,000 like sales conversations. I can count on both hands how many times I've been told you're too aggressive, Sean. I don't want to work with you. Again, not more than 10 times have I heard you're too aggressive. We don't want to work with you. So you can never be over aggressive. If somebody really wants your service or they really need your service, not want it, but need it, right? You could never over communicate to somebody, especially if you do it the right way. And if you do it from contribution, if you're doing it with like what I would call commission breath and you're saying, hey, I need a deal. So I need to know if you're going to do this. That's not the same. You need to call when you call somebody to follow up with them. You need to call with a call of action. You need to have something that you can contribute to what they're trying to accomplish or fix their problem. If you're a salesperson and you've never heard of this, the number one thing a salesperson does is they fix problems. And if you can fix a problem, you can make a tremendous amount of money because if I call the mortgage business a glove and service business. You have the glove and you have the hand. Most people that buy a home, 80, 70, 80% of the people in the United States right now get mortgaged to buy a house. If you're buying a house, it's like taking the glove. You need a hand to put in the glove. So I can sell a glove to anybody that has a hand. Typically, 80, 70, 80% of the people buying a home need a mortgage. They need my service. So, and if you can come to them with some level of a unique skill set or a unique product or a unique delivery system, that's going to make you or your company stand out. Remember, people don't buy companies. People buy the individual they're working with. I'm going to say that again. When I sold real estate, people would say, oh, well, I'm working with Mary Jo, or I'm working with your same company with another agent. And I would say, that's great. And they're a great agent, I'm sure. I would never devalue another person, whether it's real estate or any other business for that matter. But I would compare myself and my numbers to that other person and say, I appreciate it. Not all company, even though we're all the same company, not all agents are the same. Did you know that over the past 12 months, we helped 110 people buy, sell, or invest in a home? Mary Jo, who's fantastic, and I understand she's got a relationship with you. She helped 20. Let me ask you a question. I mean, if your kid was sick and you went to the surgeon and you said, how many times do you do this operation? One said 20 a year, and the other said, I do it 20 times a month or every quarter. Which one of those surgeons do you go to? Especially if your life depends on it. And by the way, people are like, well, it's not life saving. You're not splitting atoms. No, but in most cases, buying or selling a home is usually one of the largest investments somebody's going to make in their lifetime. It's been proven. So why not offer and figure out? Here's what I'm going to leave you with. At the Success Collective, we help you discover that one thing. And I believe, as your coach and as your mentor, I believe, and as your business partner, as your mortgage loan officer and your business partner, I believe that every one of my partners, every one of the people I come across, all the people I coach and mentor over the years, even the consumers have one blind spot, $1 billion blind spot, I call it, that's stopping them from going where they are now to wherever they want to be or whoever they want to become. And I'm confident that with us having a simple conversation, 15, 20-minute conversation, I'll be able to figure out at least one of your blind spots, one of your $1 billion blind spots that's going to help you to turn yourself on and turn your business on and take you to the next level. In 2025, you've heard the definition of success. Have you heard the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So, what are you going to do this year that you didn't do last year that's going to help you to go from where you are, which my coach, Coach Burt, great guy, Michael Burt, Coach Burt would say, how are you going to go from A to B? He keeps it as simple as simple could be. We're going to go from A to B. What are you going to do now to get you to B over X amount of time? By the way, when you set goals, what are the difference between goals and dreams? Dreams don't have a definitive timeline and they don't have a definitive number. With a goal, my suggestion is, and when you stay to the end, when you're going to type in, you're going to book a call with me. I'm going to actually give you access to the 10X personal success formula. We're actually going to give you the formula for building your personal success formula in the next 90 days. And we break it down into 30-day chunks so that we're going to ask you to set a goal for the next 30 days. We're also going to ask you, what does the perfect business look like for you? Who do you want to work with? Who's your ideal client profile? You know, not everybody wants to work with all the people out there. They may want to work with a very unique group. You may want to work with all the people that speak your native language. Nothing wrong with that. But choose and then define it. Then define how much you want to earn or what your definition of success is. And by the way, you could be a housewife or a house husband, and your definition of success is helping your child to get into a college, helping raise your children better than you, right? Or becoming a better person than you were, right? I don't care what your definition of success is. You could use the same plan to do it. Well, I'm asking you for, grab a call with me, grab 10 minutes of your time, 15 minutes of your time. I'll help you to figure out what your $1 billion blind spot is, what your hole is. We take the finger and we stick it in the hole in the jam. We jam the hole. And we help you go from where you are, A to B, to where you want to become. My name is Coach Sean Shallis. I am a top producing loan officer at the fifth largest bank in the United States, aka the Realty Coach. So my partners, I'm the founder of the Success Addicts Collective. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us all over the place. Easiest thing to do, Google Sean Shallis, or just look for Success Addicts on social media. You'll see us. If you got any questions, by the way, have a great year. I wish you the best, and I want to be your partner. Listen, lean on me. You've heard the song Lean on Me. I want you to lean on me. I want to be your business partner in 2025. I want to help you to go from where you are to who you want to become. Just reach out to us. By the way, if you haven't already, little tip, go to Lending Life in Housing Wire, Google Housing Wire, and look for Lending Life newsletter. Register for the newsletter. You're going to get tips like this every day, Monday to Thursday from us. We'll see you on the other side. Coach Sean Shallis. Have an awesome day.